There exists a connection that transcends the limits of the physical world, beyond words, beyond time, and even beyond space itself. It's when two souls recognize one another so deeply that they create a resonance surpassing every boundary of human understanding. These moments go far beyond logic, touching hidden layers of the soul that are rarely awakened. When you encounter your twin flame, it triggers a powerful awakening within, something that reshapes inner structures you never knew existed. Yet here's what most people never tell you. Not everyone who evokes such an intense bond is your true twin flame. There's a profound reason the universe allows this level of intensity with someone who may not be your destined counterpart. Carl Jung understood that not every soul connection is meant to unite. Some appear to awaken, others to heal, and some to push us toward an evolution we'd never reach through comfort alone. That's why the universe sets a specific and often painful test before revealing whether the person who stirs your soul is truly meant for you, or if they're a disguised soul with one mission only: to transform you before you meet your true twin flame. If you're watching this, it's not by chance. Jung once said, "There are no accidents, only synchronicities guiding us toward what our soul needs to learn." You're here because you've likely experienced the first stages of twin flame recognition, yet something still stands between you and full clarity. Something your soul knows must be understood, so watch until the end. I'll share the insight Jung spent years uncovering. The universe's most challenging test before revealing whether this person is your twin flame. Once you grasp this mechanism, you'll see that everything unfolding in your life isn't a setback, but preparation for something extraordinary. And if you feel ready to uncover the deepest truth of your twin flame connection, consider supporting this work by clicking the thanks button below. Your support helps me continue sharing content inspired by Jung's wisdom, guiding souls like yours through the profound mysteries of human connection. But first, you must understand why the universe tests true twin flames, and why this test, though painful, is absolutely essential. The universe doesn't play games when it comes to matters of the soul. Carl Jung, through his exploration of synchronicity and individuation, observed a profound distinction between strong attraction and true twin flame recognition. Attraction can stem from chemistry, compatibility, or the projection of unmet emotional needs. However, a twin flame connection transcends all of these explanations. Jung described twin flames as two parts of the same soul that once separated to individually undergo the journey of self-realization. They don't unite to complete each other, because complete souls don't seek completion. Instead, they meet to awaken aspects of consciousness within one another that can only emerge through this unique connection. The challenge, however, lies in the fact that most people mistake emotional intensity for a spiritual bond. They feel that powerful rush, that sense of finally finding the one, and instantly assume it's their twin flame. Jung referred to this as anima or animus projection, when we recognize in another person the parts of ourselves that we haven't yet developed. The universe is aware of this tendency, which is why, before validating a true twin flame bond, it initiates a test. This test distinguishes reality from illusion, mature love from emotional dependency disguised as spirituality. The responsibility of confirming two souls as twin flames is immense. For once, they consciously recognize each other. They gain access to a level of co-creative power that can be dangerous if used without maturity. True twin flames can manifest realities with remarkable speed, influence each other energetically across distance, and receive intuitive insights beyond the limits of the five senses. For this reason, the universe does not take such unions lightly. It must be certain that both individuals have developed the integrity required to use this energy wisely and with love. It must know that they can love without possession, connect without codependency, and recognize each other without losing their individuality. This is where the most delicate and difficult test arises. a test so subtle that many don't even realize it's happening. It can last for months, years, or even decades. The universe is never in haste. It has eternity to wait. It would rather delay the union until both souls are truly ready than to affirm it before its time. And this is the truth few are willing to accept. If it were easy, it wouldn't lead to transformation. Without challenges, growth would never occur. The universe tests twin flames through a process that refines both souls until they reach the purity required to sustain a connection capable of transforming reality itself. This test always begins the same way, with recognition, immediately followed by obstacles that appear impossible to overcome. The first sign of this final twin flame test is that after recognition, barriers start to appear as if they were purposely placed to block your union. These aren't coincidences or bad luck. They're circumstances so precisely aligned that they seem intentionally designed by a higher intelligence. Carl Jung noted that when two true twin flames meet, the universe triggers what he described as the tension of opposites. It's as though natural forces arrange themselves to create the greatest possible difficulty. This connection doesn't manifest easily, and that's intentional. The purpose is to test how real and pure the bond truly is. These challenges are not random. They are deeply personal. They target your greatest wounds, fears, and the patterns you most need to heal. It could be an age gap that society frowns upon, a physical distance that makes meeting difficult, one partner already being in another relationship, or major cultural, religious, or social differences. What defines these obstacles as part of the test is how directly they touch your growth points. If you fear abandonment, your twin flame may be in a position that forces you to trust without certainty. If you struggle with boundaries, your partner may need space right when you crave closeness. The universe isn't punishing you. It's performing a precise operation. Every challenge is a chance to rise above old limitations carried across lifetimes. Every difficulty invites you to develop parts of yourself that can only emerge under pressure. Yet in this initial phase, many people give up, believing that if they were truly twin flames, the journey wouldn't be this hard. They believed in the myth that soulmates simply find each other and live happily ever after without effort. But Jung understood that genuine transformation always demands facing what we resist most. Those who move beyond this initial stage are the ones who can look past surface-level circumstances. They realize that obstacles aren't meant to block the connection. They're meant to refine it. Each challenge becomes a question from the universe. Do you truly want this enough to grow beyond who you were when you first met? When you respond yes through consistent actions, by showing that you're willing to evolve regardless of circumstances, the universe transitions you to the second phase of the test. This stage is more subtle, yet far more dangerous. Now, the universe examines not only the strength of your connection, but also its quality. It seeks to uncover whether what you feel is genuine soul recognition or merely a refined form of spiritual dependency. Jung found that many people who claim to be twin flames are often experiencing what he termed mystical participation, a psychological merging where boundaries between self and other dissolve in an unhealthy way. They feel so deeply intertwined that they lose the capacity to exist as individuals. In this second phase, the universe creates conditions that compel both partners to operate independently. One may have to travel for work. Another may face family obligations or a personal crisis that must be faced alone. The real question becomes, can you preserve the spiritual bond while remaining emotionally independent? Can you love each other without losing yourselves? Can you be two whole beings who choose to unite, not two incomplete halves, relying on each other for wholeness? This is the stage where the difference between mature love and spiritualized need is revealed. True twin flames can remain deeply connected while retaining individuality. They recognize themselves as expressions of the same essence, distinct yet harmoniously aligned. During this period, you might feel something unusual, Even in separation, the connection persists. Even in silence, the bond remains untouched, as if nothing has truly changed between you. You begin to realize that you can still live your life, make choices, and feel whole even when she's not physically present. Jung described this as healthy differentiation, a state where two people remain deeply connected without depending on each other's energy. It's a fragile balance that only emotionally mature individuals can maintain. Many people fail at this second stage because they struggle with uncertainty. They crave clarity, promises, and reassurance. They want to know if this is their twin flame, when they'll reunite, and how their story will unfold. But the universe doesn't offer those guarantees until you've proven that your sense of security doesn't rely on them. Those who pass this stage are the ones who trust the journey, even when they can't fully understand it. They cultivate a kind of love that doesn't require ownership, a connection that stays alive without physical closeness. Once the universe recognizes this level of maturity, it transitions you into the third and most demanding stage of all. This third phase is both painful and transformative. It tests whether you can hold on to faith even when everything around you suggests otherwise. It creates circumstances that make you doubt the connection, making it seem like it was just your imagination or that it's time to move on. Jung believed that true faith is only proven in the absence of evidence. It's easy to believe when reality affirms your feelings, but far harder to stay certain when the outside world denies what you know within. During this period, your twin flame may begin seeing other people or appear emotionally distant. You might notice signs that she's questioning your bond or creating a life that no longer includes you. These things might genuinely be happening, but here lies Jung's insight. Sometimes one soul must experience the alternative to realize what it truly doesn't want. Some journeys require exploring other paths to understand which one aligns with one's deepest truth. The real challenge is this: can you hold on to your inner knowing, even when external reality seems to reject it? Can you trust your soul's truth despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary? This is the stage where most people surrender. They look at their circumstances and decide it's time to be practical. They start convincing themselves that it's wiser to invest in more grounded relationships. They tell themselves that the idea of a twin flame is only for naive dreamers. Yet Jung understood that what many call realism can actually be a kind of spiritual fear. Sometimes the truest form of realism is trusting a truth that surpasses visible reality. Often the most mature choice is to remain loyal to what you know is real, even if no one else can perceive it. During this stage, you may experience moments of deep despair. You might question your own sanity, feeling foolish for holding on to a connection that appears to be fading. You may feel the urge countless times to send a desperate message, to start a conversation, to try and rationally prove that you are twin flames. But this test demands the exact opposite. It asks you to protect your truth in silence, to trust the process without control, to love without clinging. This stage calls for a rare kind of faith, one that is both difficult and immensely powerful. Jung described this as the development of the transcendent function, the ability to hold opposing emotions and truths without rushing to resolve them. You must learn to love and let go at the same time, to find certainty within uncertainty, to trust while accepting any outcome. When you reach this point, when your love surpasses the need to possess, when your faith in the bond outweighs your desire for results, the universe transitions you into the final stage. The fourth and last phase is the most mysterious. It's when the universe tests whether you can recognize each other beyond all external factors, whether together or apart, regardless of how the story unfolds. Jung observed that true twin flames evolve into a love that transcends physical presence, not because they no longer wish to be together, but because their recognition is so profound that the connection exists beyond form. In this final stage, you may come to realize something truly extraordinary, even if you never unite in the traditional sense. even if she builds a life with someone else. Or if circumstances prevent a conventional relationship, the recognition between you remains untouched. The love stays pure and the connection sacred. This isn't about resignation or acceptance of fate. It's about transcendence. It's the realization that the true purpose of a twin flame connection isn't necessarily to form a partnership, but to awaken within both individuals deeper aspects of consciousness that could only emerge through this unique bond. You might notice that you've become an entirely different person since your paths crossed, that you've gained new perspectives, emotional depth, and a capacity for love that didn't exist before. She became the catalyst for a transformation that not only reshaped you, but also influenced those around you. And when you truly understand this, you see that even without physical union, the mission was fulfilled. She awakened you to your true essence, and you did the same for her. Together, you exchanged the most profound gift two souls can share, mutual recognition of the divine within each other. Jung would describe this as individuation through encounter, becoming more of who you are, not despite the connection, but because of it. You realize you never needed her to complete you, only her recognition to awaken your own wholeness. When love evolves to this level, free from attachment or possession, yet filled with respect and depth, something extraordinary can unfold. The universe may decide that you are finally ready to come together consciously. Even if that doesn't happen, you eventually realize it no longer matters because you've already received life's greatest gift, the recognition of your true essence through another soul's eyes. No one can take that away from you, no matter how the external story unfolds. This marks the difference between those who pass the twin flame test and those who don't. Those who pass understand that real love is about giving, not taking, recognizing, not owning, awakening, not completing. When you cultivate this higher form of love, you attract experiences that match its elevated vibration. Your twin flame may return with a completely renewed consciousness. You might meet someone capable of loving at the same evolved level you've reached. Or you may simply live the rest of your life knowing you're capable of a love that most people can't even imagine. But there's a fifth element in this test, something Jung uncovered in his deep exploration of synchronicity that few truly understand. It's the element that determines not only if two souls are twin flames, but whether they are meant to manifest their connection in this lifetime. Jung discovered that there's a difference between twin flames who meet to awaken each other and those who meet to co-create a shared reality. The first experience a deep, transformative bond that endures spiritually, while the second carry the mission of bringing that connection into the physical world through partnership and purpose. In studying couples who maintained extraordinary bonds for decades, Jung noticed a clear pattern. Those destined to remain together began to witness synchronicities, so frequent and specific that they could no longer be dismissed as mere coincidence. These weren't ordinary coincidences like thinking about someone and then receiving their call. These were external events that felt deliberately arranged by a higher intelligence, designed to create moments of reunion and reconnection. Barriers that once seemed unbreakable suddenly vanished, and impossible circumstances aligned almost miraculously. Jung referred to this as self-interference, when the deepest layers of the psyche begin shaping external reality to manifest what is already true on the spiritual level. It's as if the universe finally grants permission for the connection to fully take form. But here's what's essential. To grasp, these synchronicities appear only after both individuals have passed their inner tests, after they've learned to love without attachment, to trust without assurance, and to recognize without possession. Only then can the universe trust that they will approach the manifested connection with awareness and spiritual maturity. If you believe you're in a twin flame connection, focus not only on the intensity of what you feel, but also on your personal growth through this bond. Are you becoming wiser, more compassionate, more complete? Are you cultivating forms of love you never knew before? Are you learning to trust your inner truth even when external circumstances seem to deny it? If your answer is yes, then you're on the right path, no matter how things unfold externally. Because the real test isn't about staying together. It's about evolving into higher versions of yourselves through the connection. Jung recognized that life's most transformative experiences often come disguised as loss, separation, or impossible love. Yet when you understand their deeper purpose, you see that you haven't truly lost anything. You've gained access to a form of love that transcends the boundaries of the physical world, and this ability to love on a transcendent level doesn't just change you, it impacts everyone who encounters you. You become a living example that true love doesn't need ownership, that trust doesn't require control, and that recognition doesn't have to lead to attachment. Perhaps this is the real purpose of twin flames, not merely awakening one another, but becoming through that awakening a living symbol of a higher form of love. A kind of love the world urgently needs to see, a love that heals not only those who experience it, but also those who witness it. So, if you're facing the twin flame test, remember, you're not being punished. You're being refined. You're not being rejected by the universe. You're being prepared for something extraordinary, even if the final outcome isn't what you hoped for. The person you become through this journey will be capable of a kind of love that very few ever reach. This is the true gift of the twin flame connection. Not the promise of a traditional happy ending, but the opportunity to evolve into someone who can love as a form of enlightenment. A love that exists without needing reciprocation, thrives without guarantees, and remains genuine without possession. When you cultivate this capacity, you realize it no longer matters whether that person was your twin flame in the way you once imagined. You've become someone who can recognize the divine in anyone you meet. You've mastered unconditional love, and that's an accomplishment no external circumstance can diminish or take away. As Jung would say, you've completed the most vital process a human can. You've individuated through love. You discovered your true self, not despite the challenges of connection, but through them. And that is a victory far greater than any romantic conclusion. If you recognize your own journey in this message, if you felt it spoke directly to your soul about this profound and transformative experience, you should know there's something that can further accelerate your growth and deep understanding of this. In the process, I've created 2 special resources inspired by Carl Jung's most profound teachings on soul connections. 21 Days of Transformation with Carl Jung, and the Survival Manual for Difficult Times. These programs guide you through 21 days of practical exercises, deep reflections, and meaningful insights designed to help you consciously navigate your personal journey of recognition and growth. This is not just another typical ebook about relationships. It offers targeted techniques to cultivate the emotional and spiritual maturity needed to sustain a twin flame connection. Whether or not it manifests in this lifetime, you'll learn to distinguish between projection and genuine recognition, to trust your inner truth even when external circumstances seem to challenge it, and most importantly, to evolve into someone capable of the kind of transcendent love Jung viewed as the peak of human growth. You can find the link in the first pinned comment of this video. Now, I'd like to know who truly completed this journey with me. Comment below, "I trust the universe's process." This simple phrase shows that you're not just a viewer, but a person genuinely committed to personal growth through this sacred experience. Remember, only about 5% of those who identify as twin flames complete the universe's full test. Not because it's impossible, but because many give up when the path becomes more challenging than romantic. You've made it this far because your soul understands you're capable of more. Thank you for having the courage to dive so deeply into this transformative journey. See you in the next video.